Veien sånn.
After crossing the border from Brazil by foot, we somehow ended up in Europe and France. Here in French Guiana, public transportation doesn't really exist. However, we were lucky to meet Jan, a really friendly local we started talking to at a restaurant the first day. He ended up giving us a ride and even let us stay at his house in Kuru with his wife. French Guiana is not really a popular destination for travelers, but they do have a few attractions. The slightly famous Space Center, where Jan used to work, this tower, an old bridge, people riding electric scooters, and the Devil's Island. To get out there, we took a bumpy and expensive boat trip from Kuru to explore the island, which used to be a well-known and brutal prison where tens of thousands of prisoners were sent. From a death rate at 75% to an animal's home. Right now, the island looks pretty nice. But 70 years ago, this was not a place you wanted to be.
Well, if this isn't a lesson for you to not do any drugs or any crime, I don't know what is.
Believe it or not, this wasn't the only prison we visited. It seems like the French liked sending their prisoners here. So Jan drove us to the border town of Saint-Laurent before we said goodbye to him and French Guiana.
Endelig, nytt land.
3 måneder tar det før jeg kommer til et nytt land. 3 måneder.
Morten is a true traveler, so during this trip, he now finally arrived to a country he hasn't been to before. Arriving in Paramaribo, the capital in Suriname, we quickly noticed the one thing we've heard about this country in advance: the lovely blend of culture, churches and mosques right next to each other. This mix makes great and tasty food. And interesting people.
Every day I work. Look, give me still alone.
Alone.
After meeting the locals, we skipped off to a palm park, played some chess.
Konge til D4. 2 frem og 1 til siden.
And checked out the varied food market.
Det er grunnen til at vi må bruke litt penger, og vi var litt ambisiøse når vi tok litt cash.
With all that cash, we had to start spending. At least $2 later, we could move on.
I saw something Hermitage about.
Huh?
Oh, a fun fact about people here: they love birds in cages.
Gränsövergången. Viktigt med lite murro. Tar evigheter. Kom on. Där har vi trott.
Feeling sad we had to leave all the great food in Suriname, we went to Guyana and realized that the food wasn't too bad here either. And the music was familiar.
I heard you good with them soft lips.
A few hours later of singing, we arrived in Georgetown, the capital of
Guyana.
Normally, we think these streets are busy. But on Sundays, everything is closed. And there were no people to be seen.
$100 bill.
We found people in parks playing sports and hanging out. And we checked out the city's main attraction, the manatees. With all the Georgetown attractions completed, we were getting ready for our bumpiest and most horrible road trip in South America.
Är du klar?
Jag sitter på det här var i 20 timmar och bli flat. Sikkert smooth, fin vei også, så nei, det er noe godt å være på reis.
We were heading towards Brazil, and this bus ride was the only way to cross the country of Guyana. With probably 7 or 8 police checkpoints, there was not much time to sleep.
Har du sovet?
Nej då.
Trött?
Nej. Bara gira. Detta är sovesand som vi ikke fikk tid til å sove i.
Hvorfor ikke det?
Fordi det var 5:30, vi skal dra 6. Nå er det heldigvis bare 4 til 8 timer igjen til grensebyen. Så er det 1 til 16 timer igjen til neste by. Veien er sånn. Let's go. Det var nok hvile. Bli med da.
The van was fully packed and had not much space for Morten's long ballerina legs.
Get the dog with his tail wagging.
We know Guyana has more to offer, but with our schedule and tight budget, we had to leave the rest till next time, because we will return. Even though these countries are fairly unknown, unsafe, and not really recommended, we were really surprised as to what they had to offer. Great people, great food, horrible roads, and popular music. These 3 countries are mostly covered in jungle, and since we are exploring the Amazon rainforest on our trip as well, we traveled really fast. But for a good reason, as we got a chance to see the most beautiful place we've seen yet. In Venezuela.